I'm very excited to chat with you guys both for part two. I mean, this was such a blast. It really carried forward the stakes and the high level of what part two or part one brought. And I can't wait to dive in. Speaking of Owen, I want to start with you because I cannot believe you are not only the originator of Thing, but that you also have turned on Tyler in the part two finale in a way. Obviously, it comes because Francoise is asking you to save her son. But I'm curious for you. You know, so much of this arc has been about you trying to find a way to save your sister. Why do you think he did ultimately listen to her and try and clear Tyler of his Hyde nature?
I think, I mean, frankly, out of love, I guess, respect for her wishes, and also because I don't think it was going to work out any other way. You know, it was kind of a minimizing loss thing. You know, I think it was a calculation, and not one that he was totally happy with. But you know, it would have been nice. I was just talking about this earlier. Just at the very end, in little glimpses, I felt like we were starting to explore Isaac kind of stepping up a bit as a real deal family member for Tyler, mainly because he didn't have his sister to hang everything on anymore, or at least he was preparing himself a bit for that. And I'm kind of, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But does that answer it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I would have been intrigued to see how that relationship would have gone if you had stuck around longer, but as we saw, not
Hey,
quite the case.
no.
Now, Hunter, I will turn to you because going off of this note, you know, as Owen just said, Tyler is not very happy about this twist and sort of betrayal. But I mean, you know, at the same time,
Is.
do you think there's a part of him though that maybe thought about the possibility of life without a Hyde in the time since we've seen him in season one?
Yes, but I don't think, or I think to me, like, he's felt so powerless his whole life since like losing his mom and his dad hating him, and you know, for a while he doesn't know why his dad's so awful to him. I think his Hyde part of himself is like the only sense of like power control that he feels. So, you know, at the end, he's like, some part of him, most of him is like, or you know, mourning that, but also, I think the biggest part is knowing that he would lose his mom again if they go through with this. And I think so that scene, even though he's like angry, most of it is like the hurt underneath.
I think it's such a beautiful extra layer to that scene, and then leaves me very excited for what comes when it comes time for season three to come around. Because as we see, you know, Isadora comes to you with a proposition, and why do you think it is, by the way, that Tyler takes that proposition? Do you think it's just because he doesn't know what to do next? Do you think maybe he is genuinely intrigued by her offer?
Yeah, I think he's, you know, kind of lost everything. He knows he's gonna die now because in episode 5 he didn't know what was happening to him, that he would die and like lose touch with reality without a master. But in episode 8 he knows that, you know, now both his parents are dead for sure this time, and he knows he's gonna die. So I think he's kind of got nothing left to lose, and he's, you know, but a little unwilling to trust her, and I think still not fully trusting her when we see them driving off together, because he's been burned by older women before.
To say the least, that might be an understatement.
Yeah,
But
mommy issues run deep.
just a little bit. But nonetheless, I'm excited to see how that plays out in season three with Billy. And then Owen, I know I'm coming close to time, so I'll come back to you because I'd love to hear about that final scene involving Thing detaching himself from you and essentially killing you, killing himself in a way. What was it like filming that scene? Because the physicality of that, as well as the practical effects, were really just incredible to watch.
It was so fun. It was really, it was like the best time. I think we shot it for like over a week or something. We just kept coming back to it, and we'd have a new idea for a new angle that we think would be fun. I mean, at one point I showed up and they're like, "All right, now we're putting the camera in your hand, so good luck." Not it wasn't that they were messing with me, but you're like holding it and doing GoPro footage basically, and I don't know. It was just like the best time. I mean, we also like choreographed and came up with a bunch of fun, jokes that can go along with that. And I don't know, like if it to me, it feels like such a fun tonal release to what Isaac's been this whole time. Like he's so over serious in a way, and especially as it's going upwards, and there's this like real like a tragic quality to the story, and then for it to have, I don't know, I think we just wanted it to feel kind of soaring, this really like joyous moment of physical comedy. At least I did. I don't know, but yeah.
No, I think it worked. I mean, it took me back to the days of Evil Dead 2 with Ash fighting his own hand.
Exactly.
It just was a blast to watch. Well, I see I got to get on out of here, so I will go and wrap up. But guys, thank you so much for taking the time. Again, I absolutely loved part 2. I really can't wait for season 300 when you come back. And Owen, maybe they can find a flashback for you. I don't know, but
hey.
But thank you for taking the time. I hope you guys have a great weekend.
Thank you.
You too.